Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate Mercy. Today we're going to be doing a full face of new to me makeup. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and give this video a preemptive thumbs up. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel down below. And without any further ado, let's get into it. We are going to start off with brows, and I actually have two new brow products. So this is the Maybelline brow extensions. So it looks like this. Actually, it looks a bit intimidating, but we'll give it a go. And then we also have this by L'Oreal, and it's their micro ink pen. I'm pretty confident I've seen like bad reviews on this product, but it has like a really, I don't know if you can see it, like a really unique tip to it. So we're gonna give it a go. I guess we'll start off with the Brow Extensions Fiber Pomade Crayon. I typically like brow products that come in the form of a pomade, so I thought I would give this a go. I would tell you what color I have this in, but I'm searching the crayon for it and I don't see one, so I apologize. If you hear any panting or tapping in the background, both my cat and my dog are in here with me because why wouldn't they be? So I'm not mad at that. I think like if you're looking for a product that's like really speedy to be able to like throw on your brows and go, this might be a good option. So far I have no qualms. I'm going to try this to see if I can make some hair like strokes and really hope that this doesn't ruin the simple things I have going on. That definitely deepened it up. I'm not mad at this product. I want to keep using it to kind of see like what my thoughts are on it, but with that pomade, I'm not like mad at how my brows came out. Just a little bit dark, but that's okay. For primer today, I'm pretty confident I might have tried this one time, but I don't remember what I thought of it. This is the Impossible Primer Base by Wet n Wild, the silicone-free primer that does it all. It allegedly mattifies, hydrates, blurs pores, and preps skin for long-lasting makeup, and it's impossibly silicone free. So we'll give it a go. I think I might have tried this once, but I don't remember my thoughts on it, so we're going to try it again. It looks like one of those bases that definitely appears silicone-y at first. As far as what it did, I think maybe I look a little bit blurred out. Honestly, it feels like a gel going on. Like it feels like one of those gel moisturizers. So that's interesting. We'll just have to see how it plays underneath our foundation. For foundation today, I'm going to try the new Huda Beauty Faux Filter Luminous Matte Full Coverage Foundation. So this alleges that it's going to provide like a filter effect. The old formula, which I honestly never tried, apparently had a really strong fragrance. And some people absolutely adored it and other people didn't. I think my takeaway is that the old formula, they said that like initially upon application, it did a nice job of blurring out the pores and providing a nice full coverage. However, the longevity of the product was not up to snuff. So we'll have to give this a go. Let me shake it. It looks like it's like separating, which is odd because I've only had this for a couple months. For reference, I have mine in the shade 120B Vanilla, and I'm going to apply it using my DSMD sponge. So I did 2 pumps. This might be a little light just because I am tanned right now, but we will make it work with bronzer. So the full coverage claim is no joke. It really is very full coverage. Obviously my gripe right now is that it's not the right color for my skin. It didn't totally, of course, like blur out my pores altogether, especially like in this area. And I will say it does look a little bit dry. So this might be one of those foundations that for my combination skin, I need to like really heavily prep to make sure that when it lays down, it doesn't have any dry patches to cling to. Moving on to concealer, this is by Giorgio Armani. This is their Power Fabric Concealer. I have the shade 1. So I've heard a lot of folks on YouTube rave about this. So I'm optimistic that this will work. I believe it's supposed to provide a medium to full coverage base for concealer. Nice job of covering up my darkness under my eyes. So we're gonna go right into powder, and for powder today I have this one by Give Me Glow. It's their powdered sugar baking and loose setting powder. I have tried this once and I think I used the wrong brush just because it went everywhere. However, that being said, even when you try to open the component, it kind of like flutters out everywhere. So that's just something to bear in mind and be mindful of. To set under my eyes, I'm gonna go in with my L12 brush by Laura Lee Los Angeles and tap off a little of the extra and just set that before any creasing can form. I do apologize, it is literally 89 degrees in this room, so if you can see me sweating, that's why. For the rest of my face, I am going to go in with the L13 brush. Normally I would use a larger brush, but the last time I used a large brush with this powder, and the first time, it was like a cloud of powdered sugar, quite literally. So we're going to avoid that, and we're going to try to set our face in small sections. This is kind of what I mean. I don't know if you can see the particles like fluttering about in the air, but if you aren't like super mindful. So I will say I like the way my base is looking. I look a little ghostly because you can see obviously like my face does not match the rest of my body. So I'm hoping with some bronzer we can kind of fix that situation. So I don't actually have a new bronzer to use today, so I am just going to go in with my Becca Sunrise Waves bronzer. It is in my project pan for this year. As you can see, I'm making decent headway. To apply it, I'm just going to go in with this Real Techniques brush. I believe this is from their Brush Crush collection. Yeah, and just see if we can add some So our bronzer is done. However, I do want to point out, I don't know if you guys can see it, but like right here, the powder is like really clinging and not doing well with the fact that I'm sweating. So that's not ideal because it's been 5 minutes. For blush today, I want to go in with one of the new Melt Cosmetics cream blush lights. I have the shade here, Cali Dream. I thought this one looked so pretty and like a super unique color that I don't have in my collection. So it's like this really pretty, light, almost neon-y peach shade. So that's what it looks like swatched out. So I'm super excited to try this. I'm going to take my L14 brush and just bounce into that and thoroughly coat it, and then just bounce some of the excess onto the back of my hand and then go in. One of the claims of these blushes is that they're supposed to be able to be laid down on top of powder, so we will see. So it looks really pretty from here, but when you get up close you can kind of see that it did remove some of my powder, but only on this side, so that's kind of interesting. Well, I guess a little bit right here too. I still think it looks pretty, and from far away, like, you don't really see it, and it looks like it's pretty seamless, but then if you get up close, you can see right here, it kind of removed, which is a bummer. I'm going to try to see if maybe I can go over it with my sponge. I think it's really pretty. I think maybe next time I'll try to go in with a sponge and see if that works better than the brush. It kind of fixed it. I'm going to have a mask on my face for work today, so I'm not super worried about it. But I'll keep playing with those, and I'll be happy to let you guys know how they pan out. For setting spray today, I'm going to go in with this. This is by Valjean Labs, and it's their matte setting spray. I got this at TJ Maxx, actually, for $6.99. Where it's summertime, I thought maybe giving this a try would be good, because I am somebody who, like, sweats profusely, and my oils, like, really come through my forehead. Yeah, this powder is, like, acting highly suspicious. Yikes. For highlighter today, I'm going to go in with this. This is the Barbie X Colourpop Beach Party Highlighter, and this is what it looks like. I think it's super pretty. And I'm going to go ahead and use my F25 by Blink brushes. This is in collaboration with Paige Corin. I think that's really pretty. If you want to intensify these types of highlighters, you can go in with a sponge or your finger. I don't really want to be like too beaming. I'm going to work and my face is going to be covered by a mask, so kind of defeats the purpose. But I really love this, and the packaging is just so cute. So cute. For eyes today, we're going to be going in with the fairly new Mary Jane palette by Melt Cosmetics. It is a super cool toned palette with like a nice mix, in my humble opinion, of mattes and shimmers. So I think we're going to start over on this end and go in with this light shade here called Mary. Put that all through the crease, and to do that, we're going to use a Moda Pro brush, and it's their crease brush. I've only tried one palette by Melt Cosmetics, so this is a little terrifying, and I'm really hoping this does not go negatively. Also, it's worth mentioning I already primed my eyes with my P. Louise base in the shade 0.5. This color is pulling a lot deeper than it did in the pan, which I am okay with, but just something worth noting. So I'm going to go into this matte shade down here called Gasper. It looks like kind of a khaki olive color, and we're going to put that in the outer V and then blend that in with our transition shade Mary. Now we're going to try to use a Morphe M166, and I'm going to try, I'm really torn because the shimmers in here I just think look really pretty, like the different undertones of all of them look really special. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put Sweet Lucy in the middle of my lid, and then put this shade here called Mary Jane on the innermost part of my lid. Obviously, if my brush doesn't work, which is kind of typical of shimmers, they can be finicky, I will go in with my fingers. I'm just going to go ahead and use the other side of the M166 and apply Mary Jane. So this is where our makeup is at so far. I liked it the way the eyes turned out. I will say that the Melt Cosmetics formula is interesting in a way that like it comes on very pigmented all at once. So I think blending is really important. However, that being said, I didn't find that it was like super hard to blend out. I'm going to obviously keep playing with this palette, but I'm very content with the eye look that I came up with. I think it blended nicely. For lips today, it really doesn't go with what we're wearing, but it's the only new lip product I had. This is by Dior, and it's their Rouge Dior Forever Liquid Lip. We're going to try this out. I have this bright shade, and this is in the shade 999 Forever Dior, so it's like a bright red. So in hindsight, I probably would have gone in with a lip liner, because the applicator on this is actually pretty tricky in the sense that you can't carve like a really hard line on it. So I think if this is something that you're interested in, it's also interesting to know that you will probably likely want a lip liner. Not like a super sticky dry down or anything right now. So this is my final makeup look using all new products. So I think the standout products for me were the highlighter. I think the highlighter is actually really pretty. It's a pretty cost-effective option, especially compared to some of the other items that I've used today. So I think that if this is something you're interested in, I don't think that you would be disappointed by it. I thought the eyeshadow palette was really pretty. I found that it did deposit a lot of color. However, I also found that it blended out really beautifully. There was some minimal fallout under my eyes, which you might be able to still see like a little bit of those glitter particles. So I would recommend, if you're using this formula, to maybe do your eyes first. But I think that if this color story really speaks to you and you have been thinking about it, that I don't think you'd be disappointed by it. I didn't find that it's like some of the other claims around Melt Cosmetics formula where it's like really patchy and hard to blend. I didn't find that to be true with the shades I used today. The jury is still out on some of these products. So the foundation, I think initially applied really beautifully. As I mentioned, it isn't my shade right now, so that kind of like tricks your mind, I think, a little bit as to how much you like it. I will say that like it appears to be holding up well in these areas. However, where I applied that blush, it really picked up and it's starting to like kind of fall apart. So the jury's kind of out on this. I want to love it because I've heard really great things, but I've also heard really atrocious things. So I want to love this, but I don't love it just yet. The primer, I think it's okay. I think it did a like minimal job at best at like mattifying my skin. I think it did a minimal job at best at blurring my pores. So I'm not convinced. Also, Wet n Wild is one of those brands that honestly I probably won't be purchasing from much in the future just because they are still struggling to be clear on their cruelty-free status. I bought that, I think, before I really understood or knew about that. So I'm going to probably just put the pause break on that until they're able to be more transparent about their cruelty-free status. However, if that's not something that like you weigh in on or that is important to you, then I think maybe giving it a go wouldn't be the worst, but I would not say expect miracles out of this, because you're not going to get miracles out of this. This is absolutely not one of my favorite primers. For the Dior lip, this is a pretty expensive product. If I'm not mistaken, it's around like $35 to $38. So for that price, I don't think that it's worth it. I think that the color on me is like actually quite pretty. And it did dry down. It's matte. It's pretty comfortable. So if you're looking for something, if you're looking for a new liquid lipstick that is going to be matte and pretty full coverage, I would say that this is a good option. However, the wand on this is a little cattywampus, so I think it's important to maybe go in with a lip liner, especially when you're dealing with a more bright color like red. Otherwise, it could be a little messier than it has to be. The powder by Give Me Glow Cosmetics is so far a no for me. I've used this twice. The first time I used it, the powder went everywhere. That reigned true today as well, and I feel like it's separating and splotchy on my skin. So I don't really know what that's about. I am going to keep testing it out and see if I can find a way that makes it work. But for right now, I would say that this formula maybe just is not worth it. I will say though that once you get it on, I do feel like it does provide like a smoothed out kind of faux filter effect to the skin. But then as soon as you start sweating or existing, it gets a little blotchy. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I just need to test it out. But right now it's a no for me. The brow pencils, I don't think that they are anything revolutionary. However, I am somebody that likes to like quickly do my brows and go. So if that is also you, I think these two formulas aren't bad, and I don't think that you would regret giving them a go. I struggle with buying higher end products because I've bought higher end products or received higher end products, such as like the Anastasia like brow flick thing, and I hated that, whereas these were much more cost effective and I enjoy both of these. So I am happy with these, and I will continue to use these in my rotation. Last but not least is the Melt Cosmetics Cali Dream Cream Blushlight. I think the color is beautiful. The pigmentation is beautiful. Again, from far away, like over here, I really like the way that it looks on my cheeks, but unfortunately it did pick up the foundation on my nose and on my cheek, and so it kind of, you know, ruined my makeup look, which is not ideal. So I'm gonna give these a go again. The jury's out on these. I don't want to give them a no because I've seen other people apply them over their cream products that also have been powdered. and had great success. So I'm just like, how is this possible that it's not working for me? I'm hoping it's maybe because I used a brush and that was the wrong method. So I'm going to try these out again with a sponge and see if I can't make them work. I'm also like not convinced that it wasn't that powder, because that powder is not my favorite. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe to my channel down below. As always, please stay happy, stay healthy, and stay blessed, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.